All right, viewers, let's quickly cut across to the latest news break that is coming in right now. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, has spoken out on India trade with the tariffs on India and US. International trade should continue, but there should be no pressure. Swadeshi should be followed. International trade should happen, but there is no pressure. Pressure is what the RSS chief has said. He also goes on to say, we can make and drink Shikanji at home. Why should we drink cold drinks? Whatever is made in our country, make and eat it in the country. So a big Swadeshi push where it's come in from the RSS chief. There is a 3-day conference of the RSS that is taking place in the national capital, and Dr. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, speaking on that. I want to take you through with what he has said, primarily pushing for Swadeshi, make in India, practically stating that this should be read as an advantage. We shouldn't succumb to pressure, and we should be looking at to make in India where our country is concerned. All right, we're going to play that reaction, but first up, allow me to cut across to Aishwarya Paliwal. Aishwarya, it's not clearly as simple as a cold drink analogy. There is a lot more attached to it. But RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, speaking at the RSS conference, which is on for 3 days in the national capital, makes a big pitch for Swadeshi, which is made in India.
Well, definitely, Preeti, we are now seeing how Mohan Bhagwat very clearly is saying, and this is an endorsement of what the Prime Minister also and the government is also trying to say. They are saying that the consumption of our country is very high. We should now make sure. And the other thing that he said, Preeti, which is more important, is that international trade is a must. International trade should happen at the behest of what that nation wants. You cannot ask the other nation in trade. You cannot ask the other nation in what you believe in. So this is a direct attack coming in with regards to Mohan Bhagwat. The RSS chief very clearly saying that the boost is required when we speak about India. India understands where it stands at the moment. International trade is important. That's what he also said. But you cannot arm twist other nations. A clear message coming in from the RSS.
All right, I want to quickly get our viewers up to speed with the latest news break that filtered in. Viewers, put this in context, of course, because starting today, India has been slapped by unprecedented tariffs where the United States of America is concerned. There is a 3-day conference of the RSS taking place in the national capital, and you have the RSS chief weighing in on that, making a big pitch for make in India, and consume in India, Swadeshi. But he did give that analogy, when you can drink Shikanji at home, why do we need cold drinks? Having said that, the issue broader than that, but the RSS chief making a Swadeshi pitch. More news coming in right now. Top government sources have come in where tariffs are concerned. Communication channels are open between India and US. Positive signals on both sides have to be built upon concerns on both sides. This is coming from top government sources. Impact of tariff not as exaggerated as projected. Of course, no panic or large distress signal. All right, so here's all of that news coming in where the tariffs imposed on India is concerned. We're going to continue to get our viewers the latest. Let's quickly move on to our show.
You know it's climate change when it thunders through floods, cloudbursts, drowning cities. When melting glaciers and erratic rains turn rivers into weapons of despair. The deluge, tomorrow's warning, paid for by today's inaction. Climate chaos spares none. Rich, the poor, all drown the same. Add to it our urban decay that we continue to fuel, testing the wrath of nature. Only to see what we forcefully built in its path now be consumed in the wake of a river reclaiming her course. The river remembers its path, sweeping aside concrete and steels like twigs. Floods roar not as accidents but as nature reclaiming what was stolen. Homes, bridges, markets, all dissolve in the fury of waters that once nourished them. A flash flood is not sudden. It's decades of warning ignored, unleashed in an hour. The deluge leaves silence behind, broken only by cries for those missing and those lost. What we call natural disasters are often man-made climate choices. Top focus on To The Point this evening.
All right, viewers, but the focus now continues to be on Vaishnodevi, where 34 people have died in landslides that were triggered by flash floods and a possible cloudburst is what we've been indicated. Rescue efforts are underway as authorities race against time to reach those still trapped. Mind you, viewers, 34 dead till now and counting in Vaishnodevi.
Cloudburst, landslides, flash floods. Nature has turned relentless tormentor in the hills of Jammu and Kashmir. For 4 straight days, the skies haven't stopped opening up. Torrential rains have pounded the region. Flash floods tear through villages. Bridges crumble like paper. Electric poles snap. Towers topple. Several bridges have also collapsed. One crucial collapse in Jammu city, where cars were caught in the rubble. In Katra, disaster struck. Rain-triggered landslide hit along the Mata Vaishno Devi pilgrimage route. Many have lost their lives and several are yet to be rescued. Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the large-scale loss of lives. Flights and trains have been halted or cancelled after heavy deluge. While rescue operations are underway, millions remain cut off. The water level in the Chenab is flowing above the danger mark. The swollen river threatening habitations and banks of Tawi river.
People who are stuck in floodwaters are being rescued. Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police, NDRF, SDRF, CRPF and other agencies are working in close coordination, and no stone is being left unturned when it comes to providing relief to the people. But situation is alarming. It continues to rain cats and dogs here in Jammu region.
Jammu and Udhampur have recorded their worst rainfall ever in 24 hours. People living in low-lying areas have been asked to stay extra vigilant and avoid going near water bodies. Deadly floods and landslides in monsoon season are becoming more frequent and severe, with experts blaming a dangerous mix of climate change and rapid unplanned urbanization. The UN has called rising floods and droughts a distress signal of climate breakdown. While the climate experts warn that global warming, combined with reckless construction and destruction of natural defenses, is creating a deadly cocktail. The bigger question is, are we engineering our own disaster? With Sunilji Bhatt, Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, viewers, 34 lives have been consumed by the devastating landslides that were caused because of incessant erratic rain. A day after the landslide in Vaishnodevi struck, the route to the hilltop shrine of Mata Vaishno Devi has completely been obstructed, but not before taking, like I pointed out, 34 lives. Rescue teams have pulled out bodies from the debris in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district. So far, the death count might just be 34, but indications seem to suggest that it will climb up. 20 others are critically injured and undergoing treatment in different hospitals.
More than 30 people died and several others were injured after a massive landslide struck the Mata Vaishno Devi Yatra track near Ardhakumari in Katra on 26 August. The pilgrimage to the shrine was suspended. When around 3 p.m. on Tuesday, mountain slide literally gave way and stones, boulders and rocks came hurtling down, catching pilgrims unawares. The landslide struck at a point about halfway along the winding 12-kilometer trek from Katra to the shrine. There are two routes up to the shrine. While the yatra had been suspended on the Himkoti trek route since Tuesday morning, it was going on the old route till 1:30 p.m. when authorities decided to suspend it till further orders in view of the torrential rain. And then the tragedy struck. Within hours, the Home Minister posted on social media and arranged for the NDRF team deployment. Overnight rescue operations continued as relatives started to crowd hospitals in Katra looking for their loved ones. Both routes of Mata Vaishno Devi Yatra are yet to be cleared. Disaster relief continues. Bureau Report, India Today.
There's very few visuals are actually coming in from Mata Vaishno Devi, where 34 pilgrims are killed, many of them still missing. The latest that is right now coming in, eyewitnesses have finally spoken out. Like I said, very little visuals because nobody till now, even the NDRF, is having huge issues reaching the area. No warning issued before landslide is a question that the survivors are asking now, claiming no prior warning from authorities. Why wasn't the yatra stopped is a question that is echoing where the survivors are concerned. Those who have loved ones admitted to the hospital, lucky enough to have gotten away with just injuries. 34 dead, viewers. Was it negligence? Is a big question that remains to be answered.
Tragedy has struck over 30 families. We have spoken to two of them right here. They came with full families. Now several of the family members are missing. And behind me is Poonam. She has been crying endlessly. And her own husband at this point of time is missing. And this is where the real tragedy really is. This is also Deepak behind me, who's from Agra. He's lost his elder daughter, just 24 months. He's also looking for his father and daughter, but also at this point of time, hospital trying to tell them to rest assured, but the woman is distraught because her husband is missing. The tragedy is so immense, they are not able to take it.
मैं नीचे उतर के गया था जब कोई नहीं मिला था मुझे जहाँ वो है ना पहाड़ सरका था मुझे कोई नहीं मिला था मैं हवाई लगा रहा था भैया अंकल कोई नहीं आया 1-1.5 घंटे बाद आए थे सब
आप 9 परिवार वालों के साथ कोई ऐसी चेतावनी दी गई थी कि कुछ हो सकता है यहाँ पे कि रोक दी जाए
कोई नहीं सूचना देते सूचना देते तो हम क्यों आगे बढ़ते
All right, viewers, I just want to quickly take our viewers through the news break that is coming in right now. My colleague Kamaljeet Sandhu has managed to get at least to where the injured have been taken, and the news that we were breaking right now that most of the survivors whose loved ones are still in hospital, who've been able to survive, claim that there was absolutely no one even indicated that there was a warning. The route wasn't stopped for 1.5 hours, nobody came. These are the claims of the survivors who were there. No warning was issued before the landslide. People only came in to help an hour and a half ago, after the landslide took place. A big question needs to be asked about negligence of authority, viewers. If, because of inclement weather, bad weather, if the yatra was stopped in route number 2, why was it allowed to continue through on route number 1 when at one route you've stopped it because, there was danger to continue the yatra because of inclement weather. While the second route was still open, the landslide took place and taking with it 34 lives. Kamal, you've been able to speak to the survivors, those who have loved ones in the hospital. What are the reactions that you're actually being able to pick up?
Well, blessings turning into a curse of sorts. And who's really accountable for 30 lives lost and still counting? What we also know is there is obviously an apprehension even by the locals. There were so many incidents of cloudburst happening in Kishtawar, in Kathua, in Doda. There was a red alert which was sounded. Educational institutes were closed. Then why not the yatra itself? And they're saying, why was no step taken to safeguard the yatra or even suspend it at a crucial juncture? It's only when it was in an advanced stage. Now, several of the eyewitnesses obviously give us a contrary take as well, that this was perhaps at around 10 o'clock, but meanwhile, a whole lot of them had moved up. We have a crucial eyewitness there. यात्रा कब बंद की गई? आप लोग कहाँ फंसे हुए थे? कोई गाइड करने वाला था आप लोगों को या नहीं?
जी, हम लोग जो फंसे थे करीब 2:30 बजे से वहाँ फंसे हुए थे, क्योंकि आपको ये कांड हुआ है आपको 2:25-30 के अंदर हुआ है। तब हम लोग वहाँ से माता दरबार में कुमारी में जाकर रुके। बारिश खूब तेज हो रहा था। हम लोग सोचे कि माता को दर्शन करके जाएंगे। फिलहाल वहाँ पे जाने के बाद बोला कि अब जो रास्ता बंद कर दिया गया है, न ऊपर जाएगा आदमी न नीचे जाएगा। फिलहाल जब तक जो है आप लोग यहीं पे रहो, सब यहाँ शांत होकर रहो, कोई शोर शराबा मत करो।
पर जब आप ऊपर जा रहे थे कोई चेतावनी दी गई कि मौसम खराब हो सकता है, ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है?
ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं दिया। जबकि हम लोग जो रुके थे एक बाथरूम करने के चक्कर में, तो वहाँ पे 20 मीटर दूरी में बाथरूम था और ये 20 मीटर के पीछे जो है सीधे पूरे हरा के पहाड़ गिरा और पूरे एलिवेटर के लेके ही पड़ गया। उसके पीछे
जान बचा के आप भागे।
हम भागे।
So 12 kilometers up there, that's where Ardh-Kuwari is, and that is halfway through. That is where the tragedy really struck. But again, a lot of people who went up there, some of them who were left behind are the ones who were actually eventually stopped by security forces to not venture out. But those who had actually been slightly ahead could actually venture back. But many saying they had absolutely no clue because they wouldn't have really turned up or would have chosen another day if they had even slightly any remote idea that this kind of a tragedy could actually unfold. Now, all of them seem to be a lot of distraught because remember they came here to take the blessings, not to sacrifice lives, not to become a sacrificial lamb as such. And this is where they believe a lot of accountability needs to be set. People in the local market also extremely upset the way things have unfolded, saying, Jammu and Kashmir has been facing a lot of tragedies, but this is something which was completely avoidable.
Kamal, I want to ask you one quick question. 34 is what has been confirmed in the number of dead where pilgrims are concerned. Are we expecting that number to rise? Has rescue ended? Because relief will take, the next few days. But has the rescue operation ended? Is there possibility of pulling out more people from the debris? What are you getting in?
One, this is unprecedented because this is happening 12 kilometers up there. Then thereafter, we know there is a skeletal force which is very much present there. They are the first responders. The NDRF team only managed to reach late in the night. They left just a while ago from here. What we've been told is there's a time, most of the things have been cleared out. But remember, there was a fast-flowing river. Many are suspecting that one or two could have actually been...
a number on the missing right now?
That is being looked into at this point. There's no ballpoint figure right now, but they're still counting it. So the numbers could actually go up. The number of injured, and we have those particular details, have grievous injuries because these are boulders. This is actually a part of the mountain really caving in and those particular rocks really falling onto pilgrims. So yes, we're just hoping that they can actually make it and survive. But at this point of time, they are in hands of doctors. But clearly, a mammoth task as far as the forces are concerned and even the doctors are concerned. The administration is saying they are trying to provide as much relief as possible. And they're saying the numbers could slightly rise. But more or less, I think they've been able to manage clearing out the debris. They're only hoping that a further search operation may actually lead to 1 or 2 bodies, but that is about it. Meanwhile, harder task, we've seen a lot of VVIP movement right in Katra, but that's not what people want. People want accountability, people want answers.
You know, Kamal, stay on with me. I want to cut across to my colleague Sunil G. Bhatt, who's joining me from Jammu and Kashmir. Viewers, you know, Kamaljeet right now is at the base camp where Mata Vaishno Devi pilgrimage takes place. Sunil G. Bhatt is monitoring the situation in all across Jammu. Jammu has seen the kind of rainfall that it has in the last 24 hours, never before. And, you know, one can give it to climate change. But devastating shots have been coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Asim Bassi is joining me from Mandi, Himachal Pradesh, where kilometers of highways which connects Delhi, Manali, Leh have completely been washed off. Bridges that were freshly made, some of them completely washed off. Underpasses inundated. Ashraf Wani also getting me the latest from Srinagar, where the Chenab has crossed the danger mark. I want to cut across to Sunil G. Bhatt, and we can play the visuals that are coming in from Jammu. And Sunil, you know, houses completely washed away. We can see marketplaces completely inundated. As we play the visuals coming in from Jammu, Sunil, number one, what more can you add in terms of the next 24 hours? Is there still a red alert?
Preeti, the good news is that weather has improved and sun came out this evening, which is a good sign, but situation remains grim as waters in the rivers continue to flow at a very, high flow. Right now I am standing on the banks of Tawi River. Yesterday we have seen devastation here. A portion of the bridge number 4 got washed away. Houses that were located in the low-lying areas got collapsed, and scenes of devastation and destruction were witnessed. It's not raining right now, and fingers are crossed. The administration is closely monitoring the situation here. Helpline numbers have already been issued. More than 3,500 people have been evacuated from the low-lying areas and the flood-hit areas. But I want to just show you the pictures. If my camera person can show you the pictures. It's getting dark, but still I will try to show you the pictures. See the kind of destruction that has taken place here. This is the bridge number 4 on Tawi River here in Jammu, and you can see that road has caved in here. A major portion of the bridge has got washed away. You can also see a car lying over there. Cars were washed away yesterday, and horrific scenes were witnessed here. Things have improved here, but authorities are monitoring the situation. It hasn't rained since 5 p.m. Today, and that's why the residents have heaved a sigh of relief. Water level in the Tawi River has receded compared to yesterday, but it still is swollen. The residents in the low-lying areas have been evacuated. They have been taken to safer areas. As I said that more than 3,500 people have been rescued from the low-lying areas and from the flood-hit areas. Teams from the Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police, SDRF, NDRF were on their job today. They went to those areas where people were stuck in flood waters. People were rescued. They were taken to safer areas. But see, Preeti, the kind of damage that has taken place. There are cracks on the roads. A major portion of this road has already caved in, and it seems that this portion may also cave in at any point of time, given the kind of cracks that have developed on this road. The authorities are appealing to the people to stay away from the rivers and nalas and from the areas where roads have caved in. That's why this particular road has been closed for vehicular movement. The authorities are appealing to the people that they should not venture near the rivers and nalas. And the situation remains grim. Although it's under control, situation may have improved a bit compared to yesterday, but it still remains grim. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Umar Abdullah visited this site earlier this morning, and he took stock of the situation. But the kind of damage that has taken place here is
unprecedented.
Which is unprecedented.
You know, because what we are seeing is unprecedented has become a very normal terminology when we are looking at nature's wrath, all of it connected to climate change. It doesn't, for those who don't believe, see it. The floods don't lie, the flash floods don't lie, the landslides don't lie, the rain that we've been seeing, erratic rain, doesn't quite lie. I want to cut across right now, once again, to my colleague Asim Basi. Let's quickly get in our visuals coming in from Manali, Leh area, where kilometers, what we're looking at is over 28 kilometers right now is the initial count, which has completely been washed away in patches. Asim, what more can you add? Let's play Himachal shots there. Asim, what more can you add?
Well, after, I think, tremendous wait, we were stuck in a tunnel for 7 hours. That was the situation. We were stuck in a tunnel for 7 hours. We have managed to reach Kullu. And here I'm standing right next to the river Byas, which has created a lot of damage. And you can see these kind of visuals are very, very normal here now, that because big patches of roads have been washed away by the inclement weather, the flooding and the incessant rains. Although the relief is that there is no rain today, the entire day there was no rain, but the kind of infrastructure loss this region has faced, that is phenomenal, because from Kullu to Manali, that is the area where a lot of damage has taken place. The roads have been swept away, there have been bridges that have gone, and there have been restaurants that have been hit, the shops that have been hit. So totally, I think this has the rains and the flooding have created havoc for the people in this region. And it is like a 2023 also. We witnessed similar scenes wherein the roads were washed out, and now once again, these are same kind of situation here in the Himachal Pradesh, that was struggle to reach out here because Manali is far off from here, and that there also there are big patches on the highway that have been washed out, and there are it is told that alternative routes are open which can take somebody there.
Seema, is there any count of fatalities where Himachal Pradesh is concerned?
Well, fortunately, in this incident which happened a couple of days ago, yesterday and day before the rains, there has been no casualty reported as of now. But this season, definitely Himachal Pradesh have seen a lot of losses of life, a lot of losses of infrastructure. But in this, only the infrastructure loss has taken place. Fortunately, there is no human loss reported as of now.
Is very, very fortunate, but the loss of infrastructure will go into double digits where crores are concerned. Multiple bridges and highways have been completely washed away. I want to quickly get in a word from my colleague Ashraf Vani. Ashraf, till yesterday, the Chenab had crossed the danger mark. Today was better in terms of weather. What are you picking up over the next 48 hours? What can we expect?
Absolutely, Preeti. It is a good news for all the residents of Jammu and Kashmir and including Ladakh that now the weather has improved from today morning, and there was no further rain since morning today, neither in the Kashmir nor in the Jammu and neither in the Ladakh. Otherwise, but what you mentioned about the global warming, we have some reports from the Ladakh, because Ladakh is the far-flung area of the country. It was cut off for the whole day. First time the people are witnessing there the summer snowfall that in the month of August, most areas of the Ladakh region have witnessed the snowfall in the August, particularly the areas eastern part of Ladakh, which is surrounded by the LAC, the line of actual control, and also the non-stop rains for more than 50 hours in the Ladakh, where very minimum rainfall is witnessed as per the records. The people say that first time in the life they have seen so much rain in the Ladakh that resulted the waterlogging in the Leh as well as in the Ladakh region. Particularly the air flights were suspended. By road it is also disconnected.
Okay, we seem to have lost my colleague Ashraf Vani, but Ashraf Vani right now making a very pertinent point. Viewers, what we actually call nature's disasters are man-made climate choices. The point that he was raising, disconcerting to say the least. For the first time in the Ladakh region, one has seen snowfall in summer, in the month of August, which has never been witnessed where Ladakh was concerned. Moreover, 50 hours of incessant rain. Ladakh is a cold desert, viewers, and never has it happened that the region has seen 50 hours of straight heavy rainfall. This glacial melt, erratic rainfall, incessant rainfall, snowfall in summers are all signs of nothing else, whether you believe it or not. This is climate change speaking. I want to cut across to our experts this evening. Naveen Bhatnagar, former DIG, NDRF, Vimlendu Jha, environmentalist, activist. Avinash Mohanty, Global Head Climate Change and Sustainability, CCS Global, joins us. I want to cut across first to our guest, Naveen Bhatnagar, former DIG NDRF. Naveen Bhatnagar, many questions need to be raised today. Number one, where Vaishnodevi is concerned, landslides that were triggered at the back of inclement weather, there was a clear red alert and a warning. One route was suspended, but strangely, the other route, the old route of Vaishnodevi, was still open for pilgrims. That's a huge red flag, Naveen Bhatnagar. Would you not reckon that if there was a red alert, both routes should have been shut? Because today, 34 lives have been lost due to negligence.
Actually, you might be recalling that 2 years back, NDMA issued a particular warning systems in the mobile of everybody. Is a warning issue information. But I don't know on what basis and why this warning device was not being installed by state governments at all the that there will be a
Mr. Bhatnagar, there's a problem with your audio.
Yeah.
There's a huge problem with your audio. We're going to leave it at that and try and reconnect Naveen Bhatnagar. But what Mr. Bhatnagar was actually stating there was, viewers, that there usually is a warning that goes out. For some strange reason, it did not go out, even though there was a present red alert when it came down to incessant rainfall where Jammu and Kashmir region was concerned. All right, let me once again try and connect to Naveen Bhatnagar. Mr. Bhatnagar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Go
hear.
ahead, sir. Make your point. Make your point. What? Because this is negligence, sir.
Yeah, it's no, you can't say negligence, but every time scientists as well as other agencies are also giving the warning to the government that take care about it, because if these rocks are sandy rocks. So there are chances for this water stagnation and such type of devastating situations. So I don't know, we were having enough time. I don't know why they have not taken proper care about the survey of this water, because there were a lot of this saddle dams and this lakes and other water stagnation were there. So it may cause any type of furious situation as it happened here. And especially this earth quarry, this thing happened here, this devastating situation. So in this condition, I will say that it was there was a warning for heavy rain, and it may happen.
By negligence, so that's why it's the big question of negligence being raised, because there was a warning, there was a red alert of heavy rains. One route to Vaishnodevi Mata was shut because of inclement weather and a red alert. However, strangely, the other route remained to be open. And what happened was a landslide, killing 34 people.
Yes, because already I have spoken, I have told you that these rocks are not so strong and heavy load was there and a lot of water.
True, sir, exactly. Exactly the point that we are making. I appreciate you joining us, but the question is very clear. If one route was shut, why was the other route allowed to remain open for the pilgrims who were walking up for a pilgrimage to Mata Vaishno Devi and paid with their lives? Whoever we have spoken to, eyewitness accounts, all say that there was nobody there, there was no warning, they were never told that there is an issue on, that there is a red alert that has been issued. There was zero information that was given. The first help arrived an hour 45 minutes after, as per eyewitness accounts, after the landslide had already taken place. I want to cut across to Vimlendu Jha. Vimlendu Jha, today, I think in the last 1 month, what we've seen is disaster after disaster. 15th August was marked by the Kishtwar tragedy. A week before was the Harsil tragedy, and today on Ganesh Chaturthi, we are actually discussing 34 lives being lost in Mata Vaishno Devi due to a landslide. Clearly, there is something that is going horribly wrong. What we claim as natural disasters are practically man-made climate choices now. It's apparent.
Absolutely, Preeti. So, not just last 1 month, last 2 months, we've seen what's been happening in Himachal. And last decade, we've actually seen so many such events. So this is not the first time. As in, if you look at the number of cloudbursts that have actually taken place in Jammu and Kashmir alone in last 1 decade, it's been more than 140 cloudbursts that have taken place. So, despite such warning, fine, the early warning system that the government has might not be working or might not be actually acted upon. But the warning system of the nature, that's been completely ignored despite so many climate events, both in terms of frequency and intensity increasing over years. And despite that, we don't see any change in our course of work, as in the roads that were actually devastated in 2023, 2 years ago, that's been so-called repaired, and the same road has actually given way. Right now, every visual that you're actually showing, the river is claiming over the territory that belonged to the river in that sense. So, when we have such signs, when we know climate change is not an academic discourse, it's a reality. India is actually, and mostly the ecologically fragile Himalayas from Ladakh to Arunachal is showing such signs again and again, loss of life, loss of livelihood. We don't see that kind of prompt action. Imagine, you were covering and you were talking about Dharali. We don't really know if anyone got injured. There's no number at all from that day one. There were 5 people who died. And after that, we have no number. So, it's very unfortunate that despite such events, weather events, despite IPCC reports, scientists of our country and global scientists have been telling us about climate change is real. We cannot really plan for 10 years, 20 years. We'll have to make development which is adapt to the conditions. So cloudburst is going to happen tomorrow again. It's happened so many times this year itself in the last couple of months. So it's completely man-made to hide behind climate change and call this nature's fury. That house had no business to be there. That highway that the government has actually built all along these river bodies by encroaching, by deforesting, by creating those slopes. What is that landslide? As a lot of local newspapers have actually reported that the entire trekking route where the landslides have happened that's where thousands and thousands of trees have actually been chopped. So you want mobility to be convenient in the name of national security and other things. You've been actually digging, blasting, tunneling the entire Himalayas. As in every year we are inaugurating some tunnel or the other that makes our mobility swifter, but is actually demolishing the entire Himalayas. And the impact, by the way, Preeti, 2 things. One is the immediate damage that you see on your TV screens, but the long-term impact of a missing Himalayas is going to be huge on our agriculture, on our economy, on our public health. And we're not really looking at, and from water security, be it, or food security, or national security, everything is linked. But we're just mindlessly following a path despite year after year after year, so many lives lost.
I want to go across to Abhinash Mohanty, Global Head Climate Change and Sustainability. Mr. Mohanty, the fact is very clear now. The writing is on the wall. And it's come through with climate change peaking in the form of thunderous floods, flash floods, cloud bursts. To give you an example with what has happened in the last 48 hours, are sinister signs of climate change that Ladakh, which is a cold desert, has seen 50 hours of incessant rainfall, never seen ever by those who have tracked and lived in Ladakh. It's seen snowfall in the month of August. The locals there don't believe, what's really happening. But if this is not climate change, then what is it?
Good evening, Preeti. This is very shocking. And unfortunately, every time I come down into your show, it's some sort of a hazard that we are discussing about. Of course, that's what we do, churn numbers. But unfortunately, these hazards are what you rightly said, is that climate change is not lying or the floods are not lying. It's a climate reality which is speaking. And let's not also shy away what Bimlendu said, that everything can be shied away under the blanket of climate change. What is happening now is actually a combined cascading impact of unsustainable planning coupled with
urban decay and climate change. Yes, you're right.
and then third thing within this is we have been ignoring this science. Now, if I have started exercising, then I need to exercise within my limit. I cannot go into an extent where my hearts don't pump blood. And that's where we are missing it out, that in terms of without understanding how much of carrying capacity does this fragile ecosystems have, we have A, built-in infrastructures which are not climate resilient or disaster resilient. B, we have never understood how and where the climate is going to strike upon us. All of these are a flurry of the incessant erratic rainfalls. Incessant erratic rainfall is basically what can be, you just pump gallons and gallons of water in short some seconds or minutes or hours, and that's where you lose out. The average rainfall that was supposed to happen in a season is just happening within a time frame of 24 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours, and 4 hours, and that's where you miss it out. Second is, we have, as a country, we have advanced very well in terms of the early warning systems, but what we have not done is, what you rightly pointed it out, if there was a red flag which was been there, why do we have to open the space or the second route for Vaishnodevi darshan? And that's where we ignore science, right? So at a short term, at a mid-term, and at long term, we always miss it out. Now, what do we do about it? We have been discussing about the problem, but what do we do about it? Science enough is there in terms of understanding what fragile ecosystems can actually withstand. Let's try to build in that science into our larger developmental plans. That's point number one. Point number two, that can be done through doing hypergranular risk assessment. It's not that we are not doing, we're doing it, but we are doing it in piece and meal. Whereas the flurry of problems that are happening is massive, right? So you need to have a national imperative going on in terms of understanding this, number one. Number two is you need to converge it as a national emergency. We have been looking at this disaster from a reactive approach. Disaster happens, and then we start having these conversations. Let's go 5 days back, 2 days back, and let's just have it. Odisha has done it. I'm not talking about Florida, Colorado, or the Western global North countries speaking. Odisha has done it. In 1999 super cyclone, 10,000 people died. And that, when of a one level below super cyclone happened, cyclone happened in 2019, there were single digit. In fact, less than 5 number of people actually lost their lives in terms of the emergency preparedness. So we have got best cases moving around. Let's try to bring science as well as the developmental pathways aligned together. And that's where a real amount of awareness can be generated, and accountability needs to be fixed on this. Who is going to be accountable? Is it NDRF? Is it IMD? Is it NDMA? Or is it the local government who is going to be accountable for the loss of those 34 people, or those 34 people taking the risk of visiting Vaishnodevi? So these accountability questions need to be asked hard, and hard-hit questions need to be answered. It shouldn't be shied away just having these fortnightly discussions.
Right? No, you're clear. Yeah, it's an SOS where the climate chaos in this country is concerned, and it needs to be addressed on a war footing, viewers. And there are sinister signs for all of those who were second-guessing climate change. This is how it actually speaks, and you can see it on your television screens. I appreciate both our guests for joining us. Thank you there. And when we talk about sinister signs, I'll give you 3. It snowed in Ladakh in the month of August, never happened before. Jammu has received more rainfall ever. There is no record that stands before the rainfall it has received in the last 24 hours. Number 3, let's talk about Ladakh again. 50 hours of incessant rainfall. The locals there have never seen it. There is no record of it. Ladakh was to be a cold desert. All of these are signs, sinister ones, of climate change. This is how it speaks, viewers. And it's taken 34 lives where Vaishnodevi is concerned. Larger questions remain to be asked of the authorities at Vaishnodevi Mata. If route number 1 was shut because there was a red alert and there was a clear warning, why was route number 2 still open? All right, viewers, let's cut across to the state of Bihar. An election in order, the Mahagathbandhan on a Vote Adhikar Yatra. Well, today the Vote Adhikar Yatra was joined by the ally of the India Alliance, M.K. Stalin. M.K. Stalin was seen with Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi on your television screen. That's the Mahagathbandhan camp, Tejasvi Yadav at the back in the red T-shirt. Well, in all of this, you had M.K. Stalin who spoke in Bihar in Tamil. That, in effect, was questioned, and then you had the BJP come up and also make allegations that the DMK has always had an anti-Bihar stand. The Deputy CM of Bihar literally insinuating that M.K. Stalin was a ghuspetia.
A big entry in Rahul Gandhi's Bihar campaign. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and DMK MP Kanimoi joined Rahul, Priyanka and Tejasvi on the campaign trail. Stalin also addressed a gathering in Tamil. His speech translated into Hindi. Stalin repeated Rahul's vote chori charge and reminded Bihar about Karunanidhi Lalu connection. BJP questioned the presence of Stalin in Bihar poll campaign to back Congress, reminding his past barbs at Hindi and Bihar, posting a video of alleged anti-Bihar hateful remarks by Stalin and a handful of DMK netas. The Saffron Party reminded Stalin that his party had called Biharis less intelligent and blamed them for job loss in Tamil Nadu.
இந்தி பேச இளைஞர்களை தமிழ்நாட்டு வேலைக்குள் நுழைக்கிறது, அதன் மூலமாக பிஜேபி வளர்த்தலாம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு சூழ்ச்சி செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அதுக்கு இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய பழனிசாமி கும்பல் வேண்டுமானால் வேடிக்கை பார்க்கலாம். ஆனால் திமுகவோ தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்களோ அதை வேடிக்கை பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்க மாட்டாங்க என்பது மட்டும் அழுத்த நிறுத்தமாக நான் இங்கே குறிப்பிட்டு காட்ட.
BJP also slammed Telangana Chief Minister Revant Reddy for his Bihar DNA jibe at his political opponents.
मेरा DNA तेलंगाना, KCR का DNA बिहार. He belongs to बिहार. बिहार DNA से तेलंगाना DNA बेहतर है.
जिस ढंग से बिहार में बिहार को गाली देने वालों को, हिंदुओं को गाली देने वालों को, स्टालिन को जमा कर रहे हैं, या तो आप माफी मांगिए, नहीं तो इसका खामियाजा आने वाले चुनाव में भुगतना पड़ेगा.
The DMK hit back, calling it a non-issue by BJP, and claimed that the Saffron Party insulted a Tamilian in Odisha by questioning his credentials to run a state.
What did the BJP, what kind of an advertisements did they release? They made advertisements making derogatory accusations against Tamilians. Mr. Modi asked, how can a Tamilian rule Orissa? And shamelessly is coming to the state of Tamil Nadu and seeking votes. This is the duplicity, this is the hypocrisy of the BJP.
With the north-south issue in the spotlight, will it become a flashpoint in the Hindi heartland? With Pramod Madhav, Anaga Keshav and Karan Singh, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's cut across to news break that is coming in. Priyanka Gandhi spoke to India today at the Yatra where she was riding on a bike behind as pillion behind her brother. Listen in.
इस यात्रा को कैसे देखती हैं प्रियंका मैम? प्रियंका मैम इस यात्रा को कैसे देखती हैं? यात्रा लोगों को जागरूक करने की यात्रा है. लोगों को समझ में आए कि अपने अधिकारों को के लिए उनको लड़ना है और मेरे ख्याल से जनता समझ रही है. थैंक यू मैम. इस यात्रा को कैसे देखती हैं प्रियंका मैम? प्रियंका मैम इस यात्रा को कैसे देखती हैं? यात्रा लोगों को जागरूक करने की यात्रा है. लोगों को समझ में आए कि अपने अधिकारों को के लिए उनको लड़ना है और मेरे ख्याल से जनता समझ रही है. थैंक यू मैम.
All right, with that, it's a wrap on To The Point. We'll see you tomorrow. A very happy Ganesh Chaturthi, but all of you do spare a thought on the 34 pilgrims who are dead while they were climbing up to take blessings of Mata Vaishno Devi.